Good morning students, a very hearty welcome to GC Tech Hub CS tutorials. In today's lecture we would be studying about some few more conversions, that is basically binary to decimal conversion. That is, in the last class we had seen decimal to binary conversion, so now we will be doing the opposite of it, that is binary to decimal conversion, and some conversions between binary, octal and hexadecimal numbers. So let's move on to today's class. As you can see, we are going to discuss from here, that is binary to decimal conversions. So we will take it one at a time. So here the first conversion is 1101 to the base 2, that is binary number to decimal number. So let's start with this one first, that is 1101. We are first, I'm going to write it here, binary to decimal conversion. Now in this, firstly you can see we have 1101. In order, we had discussed it right when we were seeing the introduction to all the number systems. These all are number systems which work on the basis of their place values, and every digit in a number has its own weightage, it has its own value, it has its own weightage. Like for example, this one is the LSB, that is least significant bit, and this one is the MSB, that is the most significant bit or digit, we can say. So here when we talk about the least significant bit, it will have zero weightage, and this will increase in the increasing order from right to left side, that is before the decimal point. And just assuming that any number, any integral number, if it has a decimal point, then all digits after it would be 0. So after the decimal point, this weightage would be incrementing by also a factor of -1. So that is, it would be decreasing by a factor of 1. So now we will be just writing the numbers and assigning weights to each of the digits here. So as you can see, we have assigned the weights. Now, in order to convert this binary number to decimal, we will just raise these weights to the power of 2, because we are converting binary to decimal and the base of binary numbers is 2 multiplied by this digit. Then again 2 raised to the power 2 into this digit plus 2 raised to the power 1 into 0 plus 2 raised to the power 0 into 1. So this is the number which we have taken, and now we will be just solving this. So our number, the decimal number corresponding to this binary number is what? The number 30. So it was a very simple number. Now we would be seeing an example of another number here. The second example, which is a number consisting of only decimal point, that is digits after the decimal point only. It's a fractional number. So here also let's first assign weights to each of the digits. Now because we have a decimal point over here, so before the decimal point, that is towards the integral part, the weights would be assigned from right to left, and after the decimal point they would be assigned from left to right. So here the weight would be given as 0, and after decimal point it would be -1, -2, -3, and so on. Now we would raise them to the power of 2. So we get this value over here. So this would be 0.625. This is the number which we get. This is the value in the decimal part. So this is the decimal part value which we get from this binary equivalent. Next is the third one, that is 11.101. So again we would write the digits and assign weights, raise it to the power of 2. So we get this value, that is 3.625, which is the decimal equivalent of 11.101. Next is the fourth one, that is 1001001. This one to be converted to decimal form. So we will just change, I'm just changing this number to add a decimal point over here as well. Let me add 1010 here. So we will first of all write all the digits, assign weights, and now we'll start multiplying. So because these are zeros, so we can simply write them as zeros. So here we find the number, that is 149.625 is the answer to this question. So this is binary to decimal conversion. After this we have binary to octal conversion. Now, binary to octal conversion is a very simple type of conversion. We will start with one first question here. 111010 to the base 2 has to be converted into octal form. So in order to do this, what we need to do is, now here the thing is, every one octal digit, it corresponds to 3 bits. That is 3 binary digits. So if you just check out the first 8 digits here, first 8, that is all the octal digits. We know that octal number system consists of 8 digits. First 8 digits of the decimal number system, that is 0 through 7, and each of them, the maximum number of digits needed to represent every octal digit is only 3 digits, as you can see it over here. The maximum number of digits, that is every octal digit, will correspond to 3 binary digits. So what we are going to do is, if I have to convert binary to octal, I will first write all the digits of all the bits of the binary number, and I will start pairing them in groups of 3. I will start grouping them into 3 bits. Okay, like it will also be in this fashion only. Before the decimal point, it would start from right to left, and after the decimal point, it would proceed in the left to right fashion. Now because it's a number with no decimal point, so we will just assume that there are zeros after the decimal point, so we don't need to consider anything after the decimal point in case of this number. Here I will start pairing the numbers in groups of 3 from right to left. And now for each corresponding pair I will be writing the digit. So 111, it corresponds to 7, so I will write 7 here. 010 corresponds to 2, so I will write 2 over here. So my octal number is 72, which corresponds to 111010. Let us try to understand with a few more examples. Like the second one over here. So it is 110 110 101. So this number has to be converted into the octal form. So again we will write the digits like this and start pairing them. So here this is 5, this is 6, and this is also 6. So the number is 665. Suppose I have a number like this, where we have an odd number of bits in the number. So we will first write the number and start pairing them from right to left fashion. Sorry, grouping them in groups of 3. Okay, I think I just missed out. Let me just change the number and just try to increase the number of bits. So I'm going to increase one more bit over here, and let me write the number now. So I start grouping them in groups of 3, and now you can see that only one is left over here. Okay, so this is one leading one, and in order to group it, I will add 2 more leading zeros before this and group it. Same goes for numbers with decimal parts also. We add trailing zeros to the number, which we will see in a short while. So this is 2, this is 7, 5, and 1. For this it is important that you memorize the binary equivalents of every of the first 16 digits including 0. So this is what the octal form of this binary number. Let's see the next one. Now here the next one contains parts after the decimal point. So let us take this one. It is 110 point. Let us first write them. And let us start pairing the numbers. Again we have a leading one, so we will add two zeros this side. And so this grouping was from right to left. Now because we have a decimal point here, so the grouping for the decimal part would be from left to right. So this is how we group them. And here again you see that it is short of one digit, one bit. So we add a trailing zero over here and group it. So it forms a kind of a smiley. Interesting. Now here 001 is 1, this is 4, 101 is 5, again 001, point 110 that is 6, 010 that is 2. So the final number is 1541.62. Now we have the last example. So here also we first write the entire number. Now we start grouping them. Before the decimal point it would be right to left, and after the decimal point it would be left to right. And here again I have to add a trailing zero because we were short of one digit. Now this is 7, 2, this is again 7.5011, that is 3, and this is 0. So our number is 727.530. So this is binary to octal conversion. Next we will see octal to binary conversion, which is just the opposite of binary to octal. So octal to binary conversion is also very straightforward. The first number we will write. Let us try to convert this number into binary form. So for this we will just write the bits, because we know that every octal number, every octal digit corresponds to three binary digits. That is 3 bits. So we first write all the 3 digits of this octal number separately. Now we would be converting each of them into its binary, each of the digits into its binary equivalent in the form of 3 bits. Like 3 can be changed into 011, 2, 010. You can refer to the previous table which I had just displayed some time ago, that is somewhere over here. So this is the table which I am using. So if you just memorize this table, it would be very easy for you. So this is 010 and this is 001. And finally write all the bits together. And because we have written all the bits together and we have leading zeros which we can just ignore, because we know that any number will always have zeros in front of it. It won't change the meaning of the number. So we can refine the number and write it like this. So this is the binary equivalent of this octal number. Let us take the second example. So again we write the digits like this. Now the individual conversion. So first I'll just write it properly with proper gaps in between so that it is easier for us to write all the bits. So when we write it, so this is our binary equivalent of this octal number. Next example. Now here you can see that this number has digits after the decimal point. So nothing, it's not going to make any changes because we just have to write the binary equivalent of the digits. Same way 4 will be 100, 7 will be 111, and if we write all of them together, after this 101 there was a dot, so I'll write a dot and then the remaining bits after the decimal point. So this is the answer. Next one. Again we write the binary equivalents. Now we quickly write all the bits. So this is the binary equivalent of the octal number. So one thing is clear from here, that octal representation is a bit shrunken form of binary representation. Using octal numbers can reduce the length of the number considerably because every binary digit corresponds to one, every three binary digits corresponds to one octal digit. Here also we have decimal point. So we can simply write the numbers now. So this is how we will be writing the answer. So this was octal to binary conversion. Next is binary to hexadecimal conversion. Now every hexadecimal number or every hexadecimal digit corresponds to 4 binary digits, as we will be seeing here. As discussed earlier, A to F represent the hexadecimal digits 10 to 15 respectively. So now the binary equivalents in terms of 4 digits, because starting from 8 onwards, every number, every binary, every hexadecimal digit would be needing 4 bits. So we will be representing all the digits in the form of 4 bits only. So you can see how it is represented now. So you can see that every hexadecimal digit corresponds to 4 binary digits. So a huge binary number can be shrunken considerably using hexadecimal conversion. So the method is the same. We will be making groups of 4 bits in this case. So let's start with the first example. So this is the number. So we will first write all the digits placed properly, and we will start grouping the digits in the same way as we did for binary to octal. Only thing, we will be now making quads of the number. That is, we would be grouping 4 numbers, 4 digits each. So you can see that we formed 2 groups, but the third group is short of 1 bit. So we will, just like that previous case, we will be adding one leading 0 and completing the group. Now 0, 1, 0, 0. You can check it from the table here that it represents 4, then 1101, it represents 13, which is the hexadecimal digit D. So we will directly write D over here. 1101 again. So again we will be writing D. So our hexadecimal digit number would be 4DD. Let's try out the second example. So again we will write these digits. Now again we start making quads of 4 bits, and here we can see that exactly 4 different groups are made without having the need to add any leading zeros. So now we will quickly write their hexadecimal equivalents. So you can see here, firstly we have 1111, which is the number F, digit F. Then 0111, which is 7. Then 0101, which is 5. And 1011, which is 11. And we will write B for that. So our number, the hexadecimal number now is F75B. Let's see the next one. Now this number has decimal point and digits after the decimal point. So let's write the digits properly first. And here also we will do the pairing in this way, that is before the decimal point the pairing would be from right to left, and after the decimal point it would be from left to right. And again we make quads, and here again you can see that two groups are made successfully, but two digits are left, so we will add two more leading zeros to complete the group. Here also we will be doing the same thing. Now we start writing the bits. This is 1. 1010 is for 10 and that is A. 1100 is for the number 12, that is C. Then 1100 is again C and 1010 is again A. So the number is 1AC dot CA. Let's check the next example. So let's check out this one now. As we can see that after the decimal point we have an uneven number of, we have 3 bits only. So we will have to add a trailing 0 there. And we can see that we are short of 3 zeros. So we will add the 3 zeros here and complete the group. And here we will add a trailing 0. Now this is 1. Now 0101 is 5. 1011 is 11, that is B. And this is 7. And this one is 14, that is E. So our number is 15B7 point E. So that was binary to hexadecimal conversion. Now the last one, that is hexadecimal to binary, and its format is also the same just like octal to binary conversion, only we would be making groups of 4. So let's start with first example here. Now just like in case of octal to binary, we used to write every octal digit in the form of 3 bits. So here we will write every hexadecimal digit in the form of 4 bits. So A corresponds to 10, whose binary equivalent is 1010, and 6 corresponds to 110, that is 0110, which can be written as 1010 dot, sorry, not dot, 1010 So this is the answer for A6. Let's check it out for the next, the second question. A07. So we write the digits like this. A is 10, which can be written as 1010. 0 can be written in the form of 4 bits, and 7 is 0111. So our answer will be next 7AB4. Let us also take C and D over here. So here we will write all the digits first of all. Now you can see that in this number also we have digits after the decimal point. So we will just be converting every digit in the form of 4 bits. B is 11. C is 12, which can be written as 1100. D is 13. Now we write all the digits. After this 4, this 0100, we have a decimal point which we will be writing like this, and the remaining bits. So this 0 can be avoided because this is a leading 0 which we can just remove from here. And we have the last example. So how to convert this? We will again write it in this form. So D is 1, it is 13, which is 1101. And we will now write them like this. We can remove the trailing, so the leading and the trailing zeros if there are any in the number, and hence this is the answer. So that's all in today's class, students. We discussed various conversion types, that is decimal to binary we had already discussed in the previous class. So today we discussed the opposite, that is binary to decimal, and conversions between binary, octal and hexadecimal numbers. So the method is very simple. So you just need to understand what is to be done, why octal numbers are represented using three digits, 3 bits, and why hexadecimal digits are represented using 4 bits. So it is quite clear that if octal or hexadecimal number systems are followed, usually when we do some programming and if we are working with addresses of the variables, so you might see that addresses or memory addresses are never represented in the binary form, because we normally have our memory is ranging up to gigabytes, which is like a lot many bytes. So in order to represent the last byte, it would the address would consist of many bits. So in order to just shrink it, because we can see that four binary digits can be shrunken to form one hexadecimal digit. So that is the reason why memory addresses are represented using hexadecimal numbers, because it is quite easier to represent them using hexadecimal numbers, which can be converted easily to binary. So that is the reason why whenever you see memory addresses are being printed, they are always provided by the computer or the operating system in the form of hexadecimal numbers only, because there is some internal conversion done done from binary to hexadecimal. So with this I end today's class. Please practice more problems of the same type. Thank you.